75,000 workers at Kaiser Permanente going on strike. This morning, medical workers of Kaiser Permanente walked out on strike. Watch.
They're walking out. They're walking out. They're walking out. Woo! Woo! Hi, Sandra! Hey, Sandra! We're making noise, Sandra! Hey, Sandra! Hey, Sandra! Look at you, here, girl.
Laboratory!
I'm putting mine.
How long will this one last? On Wednesday, more than 75,000 unionized employees of Kaiser Permanente, one of the nation's largest not-for-profit health providers, walked off the job, marking the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history. Striking employees who work across California, Colorado, Washington, Virginia, Oregon, and D.C. are represented by a coalition of 8 unions that comprise 40% of Kaiser Permanente's total staff. Vast majority of the striking workers are in West Coast states. Strike began at 6 a.m. local time. Will run through Saturday morning. Employees on the picket lines include nursing staff, dietary workers, receptionists, optometrists, pharmacists. CNN with the details. All people can't afford to be without. What are they striking for? Well, striking employees say staff shortages have left them feeling overworked and burnt out. In a recent statement, Kaiser Permanente said it has agreed to accelerate hiring, setting a goal of hiring 10,000 new people for union-represented jobs by the end of 2023. We're in the fourth quarter. Union Coalition is demanding higher pay, strategy by Kaiser Permanente's management to tackle chronic staff shortages, protections against outsourcing, and earlier notice when management calls remote workers back to in-person work. According to an update, negotiating progress was made before the strike began, though management and the unions are still far apart regarding employee raises. What is Kaiser Permanente's counteroffer? Well, Kaiser Permanente has offered location-dependent wage increases with a maximum of 4% for each of the 4 years of the new contract, according to an October 1 update. Now, the coalition rejected that offer, saying such a raise proposal fails to keep up with the cost of living. Coalition is asking for an across-the-board 6.5% raise in the first 2 years of the labor contract and a 5.75% raise in the next 2 years. Kaiser acknowledged its staffing challenges in a statement, but argued the issue has affected healthcare providers nationwide. However, strike is temporary. Kaiser Permanente workers will return to work on October 7th at 6 a.m. local time in each state that joins the strike. However, a longer strike may come in November if a deal between the coalition and Kaiser Permanente is not reached after this strike effort. That, according to the communications outlet. The largest union in the coalition is tackling this one. Again, CNN with the details here. There have been strikes across the country, of course. The multi-state strike comes during a time of elevated labor activity in the U.S. Several large-scale strikes have paralyzed companies and entire industries in recent months. January, more than 7,000 nurses at 2 major New York City hospital systems went on strike, arguing that immense staffing shortages have led to burnout. Their complaints echo those of Kaiser Permanente's employees. The United Auto Workers are on strike against Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. First time the union has struck all 3 simultaneously. Entertainment industry also contended with dual strikes this summer. Hollywood's writers and actors unions went on strike at the same time for the first time since 1960. The leadership of the Writers Guild of America reached a tentative agreement with Hollywood studios last month. The Actors Guild strike is ongoing. So it does feel like, and I don't know how you feel about this, Dina, but I'll lead with this question first to you. Do you think because these strikes are difficult, yes, but they're getting a lot of attention, and it seems that the workers have some momentum, and is it encouraging a faster pulling of the trigger, if you will, by unions who say, well, let's just walk out, hold firm, stay together. And just like these other fields, they'll cave.
I think definitely it is contagious, I think is what your question is. Absolutely, because they see the success that they're getting. UPS was one of those companies that were threatening to strike, and they got some big concessions in terms of pay. The writers got some big concessions from their strike. So they're seeing not only other unions strike, which gives them protection against their own members, but they see the success of the strike. And so I certainly think it's contagious. And really, it's about time. Labor needs to be recognized in this country. The lack of union participation over the decades definitely has resulted in lower pay for workers. I mean, that's just not a question. And so this resurgence of it, I think, is definitely good for employees.
Sharon, Senator Nina Turner talks so eloquently and then walks the walk on behalf of workers everywhere, and we'll talk more about that. But I think you're absolutely right. There is this feeling that's turning into boots on the ground and action from so many workers. They're inspired by what they see, others being able to secure for themselves, their families, their futures.